And I spent all this time with people who butcher Lavielle all the time. And there I was. So I would like to introduce next Drew McWeeney, who is from the town of Wolcott and is a special ed teacher in the city of Waterbury. Drew?
Okay, so first off, I just want to say that my public school teachers from pre-K to 12 actually advocated for my education. They've basically supported me throughout the 12 plus years that I spent in Wolcott public school education. So they fought for me. So now I'm up here as a proud public school graduate fighting for them with saying no to these forced regionalization bills. So I'd like to first just give you a little bit of context about myself. My name is Drew Michael McWeeney. I'm a recent graduate in December of Southern Connecticut State University, where I went for early childhood education, and I currently am a proud teacher in the Waterbury school system. I teach 2- and 3-year-olds special education as a self-contained special education teacher. And I really felt the need to advocate for teachers because these bills are going to really hurt the work that I and my colleagues do. And I want to take this time to illustrate how. And I want to do this because our people that are putting forth these bills don't have the evidence-based and research-based information that tells us why we should have forced school consolidation. And I'm going to present some excerpts of what life is like for me if these forced regionalization bills would pass. So I would like the representatives to listen to me very closely because I am going to provide what they never provided, which is the evidence-based from my life experiences as a classroom teacher, first-year classroom teacher. So 3 points. First one is transportation. I want you to just imagine being 2 years old, getting on the bus from point A in the farthest area of Waterbury, coming to my school. And let's put this on you. It's snowing and the roads are bad. Maybe it might take upwards to 45 minutes. In one instance, it took buses over an hour to get to the school. So imagine when we consolidate schools, those 2-year-old kids are going to be on the bus for even longer periods of time. That means that my ability to provide one-on-one explicit and direct instruction actually decreases because the kids are on the bus for so long, they're not going to get to my classroom until late in the day. And on top of that, AM and PM preschool programs generally in Connecticut are usually at least in our school for the 2- and 3-year-olds, are 2.5 hours. So just imagine what life would be like for a 2-year-old to be on the bus for a very long time, over an hour. And it takes time away for me to actually teach and meet the needs of my students. So that's the first reason why the forced regionalization doesn't work, is because kids are going to be spending more time on the bus. Not only are they spending more time on the bus, but it costs money for gas for the buses. It costs money for repairs if the buses break down. And it costs time, too, which is very important. Second reason why forced regionalization will not work is because of the class sizes. Now, our school is accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, and that's basically what guides the field and practice of us as early childhood educators. And one of these standards from NIAC is that the maximum amount of kids you can have in a self-contained classroom in any preschool classroom under NIAC is 10. One teacher for 10 kids. My concern with these bills, if they pass, is that it's going to increase the amount of students in the class. And that's a problem because we have PPT meetings that we have to get taken out of the classroom, and that's even more time that the kids are not with us when we teach them. And I just don't know how it's possible for teachers like me who service kids who have cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism, how we can service more kids on top of the caseload of kids that we have now. I mean, some IEPs, individualized education plans, are over 15 pages long of all different requirements in the adaptive domains, emotional, social domains that have to be met. So getting more kids is not going to be effective. I mean, what more could we do? It's hard enough with the amount of kids we have right now. So imagine getting even more. It's just not feasible. And what bothers teachers is that we have to work past the contractual time and we get no pay for it. So we're going to be working even more time without pay if we get more kids. But yet we get a slap on the wrist because the paperwork and stuff has to be done. So it's actually a dichotomy. So we have to be vigilant about the increase of class sizes with teachers and, as I said before, transportation. And now the last point I want to make is just a couple into one. When the governor says good sound evidence, that doesn't mean take an idea and propose a bill. Good sound evidence means evidence-based research. There is a difference between research-based evidence and evidence-based evidence. Research-based evidence is talking about the literature review. So what do other studies, what do other academics say about the topic? Whereas what Governor Lamont is talking about evidence-based research. Evidence-based, by definition, means that it takes years for multiple studies to be done and the same exact results come from these studies. So, as a college student, if I were to submit a paper with absolutely no evidence, it gets sent right back to me with a bad grade. So I urge representatives to follow in at least my steps and actually, where is this evidence that school consolidation works? And if there is, where is it? We haven't seen it. So that's something I would like to have the representatives keep in mind. Also, the representatives also never asked, how do larger school districts feel about other towns sharing their resources? Where is the effort to create a task force consisting of public school teachers, school administrators, local boards of education? Where is this? Where are the surveys that are being done that give us the information about how do larger school districts feel about consolidation? And if these people think that school consolidation actually works, why don't they consolidate the police force, the nursing profession? Why education? What they're telling us is that education is actually less important than the other professions. So that's also something I want our representatives to keep in mind. So to conclude, I'm against these school regionalization bills because it's harming the work that I do on the classroom on a daily basis. For transportation, it takes long for these kids to be on the bus. It'll take even longer when we consolidate schools. The number of kids are going to increase. My job as a special ed teacher and the jobs of teachers in the state throughout the world, it's not easy. I'm sorry, but it's not glorified babysitting. We just don't give kids things to do. We actually teach them the life skills that they need to succeed going forward in life. And these bills are going to hurt that opportunity because it's going to be hard for us to be able to provide that for us. So I urge you to say no to these bills. I urge you to say no. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my last name is capital M, lowercase c, capital W. The rest is lowercase E-E-N-E-Y. W-E-E-N-E-Y. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew, very much. Any other questions? All right, I think we'll go next door. Thank you so much, all of you. Good job. You too.